Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let's turn Brian's lights on. Hope you can both hear and see me. All the things look green, so I'm just going to assume that there is. It's Friday night. It's the live stream. It's time to sit back, relax, get ready to play some games, get ready to play a new game, a bit of chat, some old features, some new features. And what else have we got? And some stuff. Yes, it's been a very busy week. So I've been up to lots. I have been doing even more today. I've not left this chair all day, really, apart from one quick visit to pick up some fish. But I'm off on holiday now for a week and a bit. Well, just a week. So I had to get lots of things crossed off. So I'm having a well-earned, I know I say this every Friday, a well-earned sip. So let's see who we've got in before we talk about what we've got coming up. Brian's in nice and early. How we doing, Brian? Lee from a hot and sunny day in Bolton. It's not been too bad here in Sheffield. It's livable with, I know my face doesn't tell that story, being bright red, but we're all right. Warm and windy in Northumberland. Catherine, how we doing? Get the beer cracked open. We've done that already. Oh, missed one. Amrinda Sharma, good evening. Evening all, says Bandit. I'll be here a while, but I'm currently having a bloody stressful time with a leaking filter. And I'm not at home. Double And then Silverstone won't give me any trade pass to get in. Triple Hope you get that sorted. Is it that time already? It is indeed. Garage Gills, how we doing? AV sounds good. Good. Graham, nice to see you. Gasmusk, hello from Sweden. Hello from Sheffield. David, it's no longer our birthday month, I know. It is. I have double-checked that it is a new month. I know July seemed to go on forever, but it has moved on. It seemed like only last week it was January, but now we're in August, which is a new month. Yeah, no extra point. Maybe she gets commiseration points tonight for it no longer being your birthday month, or my birthday month. My glasses are terrible. I can't see anything. Thanks for the pen with my order, says Grim. No problem at all. Thanks for your order. Sandra, good evening. Ice, it must be cider, is indeed. Although, I've taken having a nice Lidl's finest West Country vintage cider. I've taken to... I shouldn't say this out loud. This is terribly embarrassing. Red wine with ice. Don't knock it till you tried it. That was one of my birthday gifts. Was I got a nice bottle of wine, so I went and bought some nice cheese, and I absent-mindedly put ice in my wine. I went, oh, what am I doing? Ooh, it's actually delicious. There you go. Take that as a wee handy hint. Yeah. What's up, Murphy? Good times. How are we doing? A sunny Clifton on Team. There's a place I've never heard of. Clifton on Team. I have to put you on the map. Sure. I'm sure you're already on the map, though. Phil, how are we doing? Caught me out by being on time. It happens once in a blue moon. It does happen. Lauren's in. Nice to see you, Lauren. Brian says, you got my name wrong, Graham. It's now Guppy and Chips after paying 36 quid for 2 fish suppers. I know. Remember, fish suppers used to be cheap. We've got a really good chippy around here, but even then, they do what's called a night special, and it's like 8 quid. And I'm like, £8 for fish and chips. And then you go to other fish and chips, and they're rank, and they're about 15 quid. So I know how you feel. Points would be lovely. Sarah's in. How we doing? 93 degrees in Northern California. Headed to 101. Whoa, that's a bit too hot for me. Yeah, so I'm going on holiday. My lovely parents, if you're watching, are taking me and the family to Creef Hydro for a few days. I've just looked at the weather. Cloudy with rain, cloudy with showers, cloudy with rain. It'll make a change. Pardon me, it's been nothing but dry and oppressively hot for so long. It'd be nice to have a wee bit of rain. So I've got that to look forward to next week. And then a couple of days of nothing, hopefully. So that'll be quite good as well. Stevie P, how we doing, Stevie P? I'll talk about this in a little while. What's that say? I'm not at home and it's my birthday month now, but don't drop yourself in it. I'm saying nothing about birthdays anymore. Morally says, sorry, I missed you all last week. You're allowed a week off every now and again. It's fine. Creef's a nice place, though. Apparently, I have never been to Creef. It's one of the many places I've never been. My family go there all the time. They waited till I left and moved to England and then started going there every year for a holiday. So I'm looking forward to that. They've got lots of things going on, archery and rifle shooting and swimming pools and horse riding and more stuff. So me and the kids are looking forward to it. A bit of a break. Not quite looking forward to the 7-hour drive to get there, but you know, these things happen. But yes, so for your delectation tonight, we have the classic, the standard Aquarium Adventures weekly quiz. I've introduced a new quiz for August after that. We'll talk a little bit about it later and maybe start to lay... I've realised there's a fatal flaw in laying down the rules for the quiz now, because the people who are still here when we usually play the second quiz at like 10:30 aren't still here and nobody hears it. So we'll go on about it in a little while. But I've come up with the ingenious name. Let me see if I can find it. Play the Your Prize Cards is Right. That's the name of the new game. Boo! Play the Your Prize Cards is Right. So you can imagine what that's got something to do with. So we'll play that a little bit later on. It's just trying something a bit new, trying to mix it up, keep everybody guessing, and see how we got on. We've just had a new order. Thank you, Terry Pilling, for your new order. How am I going to post that? Because I'm not going to be here. These are not live stream problems, Graham. Carrying on. So we've got that. We are making a welcome return to Dickhead Comment of the Week. That will be making a... Well, will it? It's not really a dick. I'm going for Dickhead Comment of the Week. It's a borderline dickhead. I was trying to have a reasoned debate. Let's put it that way. And then what else have we got? We have other stuff. Oh yeah, all my bank cards got cancelled this week because I tried to buy a gift for Stevie P. So that was fun. So Stephen won the July quizzes. And rather than try and send him things to America, I thought I'll buy him a wee gift off Amazon in America. And thought that would be easy. It fought me for literally a day and a half of not being able to register my cards on Amazon.com. Obviously, I didn't realize this, but your Prime membership doesn't carry across regional zones. It wouldn't accept some of my cards. I had to register new cards, re-register, and then all my bank was going, oh, what are you doing? There's scammers buying things on Amazon. And then finally bought something, and it sent me a thing to my bank to confirm it. I didn't do it fast enough. It decided I was a hacker and cancelled all my cards. I didn't get back to it quick enough because I was on a meeting. So I spent another half a day fighting with my bank. Probably didn't help that I put the gift certificate as definitely not drugs, ! So make better choices, Graham. So all I can say is, Stephen, you are now banned from winning things. Oh, no, that's not true. You're allowed to win things. You're now banned from getting prizes. I will hand you cash rather than try and buy you something or post you something again. So that was fun. So that was like, yeah, literally 2 days worth of effort trying to sort all that out. And I hope you like it. I'm not going to spoil the surprise. It's not really fish related. Yeah, see how we get on. So we've got that. Lesbos666, good evening. Hello yourself. Sure, Creef has a knife golf course. It does have a knife golf course, but I don't think I'm going to get a chance to play it. It's about 35 degrees here in Texas, and it feels like 108, about 42. Yeah, that's a bit too hot. Dry heat here in CA California, I'm going for. If by lush you mean sweltering and unbearably hot, then yes. The next time they don't tell them the gifts for me. I'm on lists. No, I don't think it was anything to do with you. I think it was getting very upset that I didn't know your phone number. It was insistent on a phone number, and then the first time I put in a phone number, I was like, right, fuck it, I'll put in my own phone number. If you're ever doing this, doing transatlantic Amazon purchases, don't mix UK phone numbers and US addresses. That gets you on some kind of list where all kinds of things go wrong. So I put in some random number in the end, so there'll be some guy in God knows Chicago will probably get texts that his parcel's about to arrive and it's for you. But anyway, don't talk to me about bank cards. I got Scott a new one to order something off Temu, and it tried to charge me 5 times. No more Temu for me. Well, I've never had that problem on Temu, so there's a new one. Better make the quiz sports ball. Do you know what? I thought of making. I'd put together a basket of gifts. So this is what you're not getting. I wonder if I've still got it open. I put together a basket of gifts of all things Stephen loves. So it was 1001 sports trivia. No, 1001 of the most sports-filled trivia book. Where was the other ones? Formula One for beginners. A Lego Formula One car. I'm obsessed by Lego Formula One cars at the moment. God, I can't find it. I was very proud of myself. Then I thought, Graham, you're going to end up spending 50 quid on stuff someone's going to hate. So I haven't done that. So it'll probably be quite boring in the end. When you come back, can you send the filter meter if you haven't already done so? I'm away this week. I can. Yes, remind me when we come back. Send me a message. A ticket to a sport. I did consider that. I thought Louisiana have a baseball team or something like that. I could buy you a ticket, but again, ridiculously amounts of money. And as much as I enjoy buying people gifts that I know they won't like, I've been told that they don't like it. I literally, so Zenny saying it feels like it would have been easier to PayPal, Stephen. I thought, I kept trying to buy things. So on amazon.co.uk, you can set your delivery location. So I set my location to Stephen's address. And then in theory, it was only showing me things that ship to the US. So for instance, one of the things I was looking at was 3D printer filament. And the stuff that I normally buy, it's like, oh yes, this ships to the US. And then when I bought it, it ships to the US if you pay an extra £4,000 in shipping. So I thought, right, okay, never mind that. Go back on Amazon.com and see. And then the same filter. It's nothing to do with filters, Graham. Shut up, Graham. The same filament just wasn't available. And I'm like, oh, okay, so other filament. I was like, oh, is that the most boring gift in the world? Probably. But anyway, I was getting very frustrated by this point. And then my Prime wouldn't work, so nothing would come for like a week and a half. So I was like, oh God, it was just, I thought I'll buy a gift voucher and then he can buy what he wants. No, wouldn't do that either. Wouldn't let me buy a gift voucher. I was very close to just like literally sellotaping some pound coins in an envelope and posting it. Sorry, please and thank you. There's no problem. I did a good deed the other day, says Brian. I saved a little. I saved a little What? I saved a little gecko I found on my back step. You found a gecko on your back step? After research, I found out it was a UK common lizard, so protected after 14 hours. I released it. Oh, very cool. A UK common lizard. What's one of them when it's at home? Ooh, it's one of these. The common lizard is known as the viviparous lizard, the UK's most widespread reptile, growing 10 to 15 centimetres long, typically brown with spots or stripes. I have never seen one. That's pretty cool. Very good. This reminds me of a story. When I first moved to Sheffield, or not, a couple of years into it, I lived in shared housing with some friends, and one of my friends kept an iguana, was a pet iguana, and snakes and all that kind of stuff. He was into his reptiles, let's say. And the iguana escaped one day. So we were up and down the street looking for this iguana, and there was a bus stop on our street with a hedge in it. And we were going up and down the street, spotted the iguana in the hedge. Well, there it is there. And so there was a guy stood at the bus stop, like, waiting for his bus. So he come up and grabbed the lizard, grabbed this big, massive iguana with big, massive thing. Like, oh, and he was like, oh, did a bit of a double take. And he was like, is that an iguana? And I was like, yeah, it's got an iguana. Huh, you don't see many of them around here these days. And I was like, oh, yeah, walking away. And then I thought, what? You don't see many of them around here these days? How old are you? When were you seeing iguanas in the middle of Sheffield City? Hanging out in bus shelter hedges? So, that was interesting. I assume since you asked me what 3D printer I have, it's going to be 3D printer related. It was, but I don't know if it still is. I'm saying nothing. We'll save some kind of surprise. As you're an IT specialist, can you not just email Trump and ask him to let your stuff in? Oh, I have no problem sending stuff to America. It's just my Scottishness kicks in when I'm asked to pay exorbitant postage rates. The lizard left Brian's house with a bag of guppy grass and a dartboard. I went round the house collecting spiders for a to eat. This is like there was an old lady who swallowed a fly. Anyway, so we've got quizzes. We've got Dickhead Comment of the Week. Shall we start with Dickhead Comment of the Week, or shall we post the link to the quiz? Let's tease the quiz, shall we? The good old regular quiz. Copy link. I can never find the thing. Put in there. There you go. That's the link to tonight's. So, where's it gone? My button's gone. They've crawled out from the rock so we can hear them speak. Here's the Dickhead Comment of the Week. So, this is in relation to my last video, or last but one video. So bear this in mind, because some of the context here is interesting, I think. So the video is, I visited every aquarium shop I could find in Leeds. The point of the video was, that's strange, there's 2 Maidenhead Aquatics, why has it got 2? Why has Sheffield's only got 1? And the 2 in Leeds are rubbish, and the one in Sheffield's great. That was the video. A little bit on the end of going, well, where are all the other ones? Because there's loads of them listed on the internet in Leeds, but they're all closed down. So there's a little kind of tangent to, what's happening to the hobby? Is this the right time to be trying to start my own shop? Although it's a from home one. Okay, all that kind of stuff. And the first comment, well, the first of the contentious comments wasn't all that contentious. But pop into QSS in Bradford. So straight away, I'm like, I'm talking about how there's no aquarium shops in Leeds, and you send me to Bradford. So many people did this. Oh yeah, there's no aquarium shops in Leeds. But have you been to? I'm like, yeah, but that's also not in Leeds. Oh, okay. Anyway, they've been around for 50 years. Blah blah blah. The Maidenhead Aquatics not. Yeah, there's Maidenhead in Bradford as well. Who knew? That's not Leeds. Anyway, and then straight into. YouTube is the reason the hobby is dying. So I guess there's a link that I'm thinking, oh, there's a lot of the shops are closing down. YouTube is the reason the hobby's dying. Now that's an interesting take. All YouTube tells you is water changes, and more water changes. People haven't got that much time. So I didn't see this for a day or so. I have thoughts about that comment, and we'll get to it in a minute. So it kind of goes on, and other people are chiming in. That kid Morgan, Mariah, is that all YouTube tells you? Maybe you're not watching the right channels. Fish for thought and empty fish tanks mostly discuss planted tanks and no need for water changes. Do they? That's not what I've seen when I've watched their channels. Except for the first couple of weeks, and obviously if there's a spike in certain parameters, but that shouldn't really happen. I watched 10 different, okay, whatever. And then guys going, MD Fish Tanks is an exception, and that's why he's now the most watched channel. All Joey talks about is water changes. Most people don't want an aquarium as an ornamental feature. No, most people want an aquarium as an ornamental feature. I mean, some people do, but I think water changes is kind of like a minimum requirement. You have to agree to do them or you're not allowed to have a fish tank. I get that there are no water change people out there and they do a thing, but I don't agree with them. Let's go with that. The aquarium hobby's dying for ages, blah, blah, blah. Who's Joey? I mention FD and FFT. I don't know, Joey. Serpent Design doesn't mention water changes. Terraquar Man doesn't mention water changes. Fish Shop Matt doesn't mention. So I know for a fact all of them have mentioned water changes. Anyway, don't calm down. So there's a bit of arguing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then they start shouting at each other. So then a couple of days later, I come in and go, that is an interesting, and by interesting I of course mean couldn't be more wrong, take. A video about the lack of fish shop in Leeds and you accuse YouTube of killing the hobby because it only talks about water changes. Which this video on YouTube doesn't do. Since you brought it up, though, water changes are an important part of the hobby, not reserved for when parameters spike or when just setting up a tank, even heavily planted ones. They should be a part of your regular maintenance. If they are not, and your reasoning is you don't have time, you have no business keeping fish. If they're not, and your reasoning is I don't believe they are necessary, then I respectfully disagree. I get the ecosystem angle and I agree that it can work well, but only in very specific and limited setups. It's unfair and untrue to say that because you can have a no filter or no water change system, that the same applies to all fish tanks. So that's kind of what there are people who will say your father fish thing, where you can say, I've got 6 guppies in a 300-gallon tank stuffed with an 8-inch substrate and 5 billion plants. They look at that and go, so I'll do that. Well, I'll not water change in my aquarium, which has got loads of fish in it and hardly any plants. Or they call heavily planted because they've got like, I don't know, a big plant and they call it heavily planted. Anyway, I guarantee that all the channels listed in the comments do water changes. They're just not making lots of videos about it because it's boring and it isn't all YouTube is telling you about. So then I didn't recommend no filter, which I do clean, but my tank has had a true water change in 6 months. Only then because I moved and I couldn't lift it. And then this is my favourite bit. I say true water change because about once a month I do general maintenance, which involves changing 10% of the water. Does freaking water changes and telling people not to do water changes. So again, it goes on. My point is just because you don't do water changes or someone else doesn't use a filter, recommending either, in my view, because water changes are in some way bad, is not only wrong, but bordering on dangerous. To add that you actually do water changes, but just don't call them that because they're usually small, is pushing towards stupidity. They only work in very specific scenarios, which is lost on the viewer. Yes, water changes are a chore, so is a person looking for ways to make chores easier, seeing someone say, not only do you not need to do it, but if you are doing it, you're harming your fish, is just plain bad advice. Then I go on about father fish bollocks stuff for a bit. And I also said, because at this point, he kept ringing up FFT, and I'm going, what the fuck is FFT? So I said, I don't know who FFT is, but I couldn't care less whether or not they've done a water change in a year. It doesn't mean it's a good policy. Just because it works for one person doesn't mean it will give it any more credence than me saying I do daily water changes and expecting everyone to do that. Every low maintenance tank I've ever seen promoted by the likes of Father Fish, it all looks like a dumpster fire to me. So I get there's a bit of a personal preference in this, but they present that personal preference and very specific niche that it works in as suitable for all, when it just isn't. So then he gets a bit pissy and says, well, if you aren't going to read all the comments and then respond as though you did, I can't explain it to you. I'm not going to retype everything I already said. I can tell you didn't read them because I spelled out FFT's channel in the very first comment. Typing it again is a waste of time. But I do agree with you that if someone is rushing through a process and the point, if they miss half of what is said, they don't deserve pets, you have to incorporate the entire lesson or you miss the point. So it's kind of... So my point is that, yes, the extra 11 characters to write fish for thought is much quicker than typing out 4 paragraphs explaining why you're too busy to type out fish for thought. Fucking wanker. And then the original guy comes back and goes, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to step into it. So, Rafiq Najb 95588, you win. And there we have dickhead comment of the week. So it annoys me that people will either... So there are people... So as much as the father fish thing annoys me, he clearly likes that kind of thing. So, and it works for him. But everyone else who uses that to justify their laziness... I'm a lazy man. I will do anything to get out of doing work. But I don't blame the fact that I skip a water change on, oh, it's because it's good for the fish and it hurts, and I don't promote that shit on the internet where other people can read it. It's just beyond stupid is what I would say. And I shouldn't really say things like this about people who bother to watch my videos. So thank you for watching and commenting. But I've never heard something so stupid. That's all I wanted to say. I kind of want to start inviting these people on to the live stream so we can talk about this, because it's very unfair sometimes that it's my channel. I can say what I want. I can mute I don't, but I could mute comments. I can delete comments. I can kick users. And I've been accused of doing that in the past, going, you deleted all my comments. And I'm like, little fanny, no I haven't. You're just trying to play the victim here. Not this guy didn't do that, but it's happened in the past. Where I'd like to come and, because there's a keyboard warrior element to all of this. I probably fall into that as well, where you're in a very safe space, you can type your thing, but if you have a discussion with someone face to face, or screen to screen as it might be, or when you can hear the inflection of someone's voice, sometimes I have taken things the wrong way many times. I don't know if it's meant to be that bad. I thought it might be fun to have some debates, maybe, and see if we can. Because I think I'm quite good at arguing. People that know me will be like, yes, you're very good at arguing. In that, like a constructive argument, I can put together a constructive argument. I don't think I'm necessarily the most well-informed or well-educated person on all the subjects, so I can definitely be wrong, and I think I often do and can admit that. So I have been wrong about things. I have had my mind changed. I have changed my position on many things over the years. So it's not like I just invite someone on to do a hit job. I just thought it might be fun to see if somebody fancied coming on to have a debate about these things where I take one side of something. I don't know whether I would just take a side or if I would take my point of view but be open to change. Because often when you do proper debates, you don't go, oh yeah, you got a point. You argue your point to the death. So I don't know which one of them would be better. But anyway, it's a thing. Oh, there's been lots of comments. Sorry. Dickhead commented the yay. Apple Gal's in. Hello, how we doing? MD might be a twat, but at least he water changes. I don't think he's a twat, is he? But he does do water changes. I've seen him do it. I know what happens. That's a very tiny name. I can't even. Oh, it's Rebecca. Hello. How little time do people think they have? Yeah, so there was a whole part of that thread with somebody going, if you're not doing water changes on the basis of time, how long is it taking you? Because I get that it can be annoying and it can be a chore, and there are people out there still using buckets. Idiots. But yeah, how... it's not that much of a chore. I do water changes every day. It's a bit of a chore. But you don't... The average person with 1 tank or 2 tanks isn't doing water changes every day. And there's a spectrum here. So there's all the way from the no water change people all the way through to the militant discus keepers who are doing 90% water changes a day. There's a happy medium to be found in there. I'm not saying that because I disagree that you shouldn't not do water changes. You shouldn't not do water. You know what I mean? The no water change people, and doesn't mean I'm recommending constant water changes. There's a scale here. There's a nice way to meet in the middle and find a happy medium. It's not the ecosystem thing. I get it. I just don't believe it. I fundamentally think it's wrong. You've got to get shit out of your aquarium. You've got to replace minerals. Over time, yeah, it's not... I get mulm is good. I get some level of things sinking into substrate and being processed over time, but come on. Water changes are not bad. People... Anyway. John Barrett, good evening from Swindon. Good evening, Si. How we doing? I don't have much time and I'm still working, and I still have time to... Exactly, yeah. Exactly, good point. Not mentioning water changes does not mean you're not doing water changes. I mean, how boring... Points make prizes. How boring would YouTube be if all we talked about was that? Was my reminder to start the quiz. How boring would it be if all videos were about... So, to address the original comment, I don't think that one was the dickhead comment of the week. That was just a bit weird and a bit wrong. I don't think YouTube is talking about water change, or the reason for the downfall of the hobby. If anything, all the aquarium channels I watch support your local fish store. So, no. Anyway, right. What's going on with the ads? That'll spoil the... Oh, is there ads on again? Have I done ads? Have I done ads? I think I have done ads. It's all new. There's buttons. Oh, I can pause ads. So I have paused ads. I can pause ads for 10 minutes, apparently. I can also create highlights and add stream markers. These are all new things. I'm also being verified at the moment. Someone from YouTube is verifying my channel. So I think I get a special button or something. That'll be fun. I'm like, yeah, I am me. Right, once more. Prizes! Copy link address. Once more for the quiz. We will get kicked off in about a minute. We have 10 participants at the moment. Prizes! We'll sort that out in a bit while I just zoom down the rest of the questions. The ecosystem people have started arguing that lakes are closed. I know. It's just so stupid. I mean, some of it is just so stupid. It's... I've got into this argument on this topic, and it is a silly argument. It is a silly... I just don't understand why people are so militant about defending that point when it's so clearly... Just to say water changes are bad or dangerous, it's just all kinds of wrong. Anyway, right, let's go down. I'm getting ads as well. Sorry, everyone, for the ads. I must have pressed the button that I didn't notice. I have a discarded 20-gallon aquarium sitting outside that looks just like a parrotfish tank. I know. I mean, I think I'm Father Fish has been nothing but nice to me, and I've been nothing but mean to him. That I just do not like his aquariums. I do not like. I don't even think he's that militant about it. He just says things that apply to the way he wants to do things. And he keep coming on and leaving me lovely comments, and all I do is go, "God, that's disgusting. Ugh, look at that's horrible." As much as face-to-face is better, I think online allows you to organise your thoughts so people can understand, but maybe that's just me. Yeah, well, you definitely can. You get the second of reflection before hitting enter, whereas if you've said it, you've said it. Yeah, I suppose it can be a little bit. And I think it's quite a combative thing to say. Do you want to come and debate that point with me on my live stream? I guess if the shoes were reversed, I'd be like, hell no. No, I don't. Everyone's getting right. So someone needs to remind me about 9:15 next week not to turn on ads or to turn off ads, because I think it must have switched to a default thing, but I can't really do anything about it. But I can pause the ads, but it only lets me pause them for 10 minutes. We'll see how we go on. Right, are we ready, people? I think, sorry if I've missed your comment, but we will try and get on with the quiz now, which is scanny thing for scanny people. She's over here. Remember my non-birthday month points. I'll try my best. Right, let's have a look at the scores. Who's already said they want points? We have Dan, Zenny, Stevie P, and Lauren. Was there anyone else? Dan, Zenny, Stevie P. Where's Stevie P? There he is. And Lauren. Lauren. Brand new month, people, so this is your time to get in ahead. Dan, Zenny, Stevie P, Lauren. Was there anyone else? Mona Lee. Got that one. Mona Lee. All right, we'll get kicked off in a minute. One thing, the trend I've noticed is AI YouTube content largely stealing videos to make content or scripts. There's one YouTuber who constantly gets shared claiming to be scientific. Yeah, there is a bit of that, and there's not much you can do about it. I'm a bit conflicted about what to do with it. I've started having mine chopped up by other people and presented as their own. It's slightly flattering in some cases. You're like, oh, that's nice. Someone's decided to rob me. At least they're thinking of me, type of thing. And then in other cases, you're like, oh. I would be upset if they were getting tens of thousands of views, but this is the flip side of that. Oh, it's nice that they thought of me. They're also not getting many views from it either, so I'm a bit like, don't know if it's worth doing anything. Kitles, you get your non-birthday month points. I'm giving you 8 for the month of August. And Mona Lee, I've got Mona Lee. Right, are we ready to go, peeps? Let me just move my face out way so I can hear it above the comments. I think we're ready to go, everyone. We're all in. We've got 16 people ready to play. Let's go. Start the countdown. Best of luck to you all. I'm sorry if I've missed all your... Still, the ads are coming. Ah, for fuck's sake. There should be no ads for the next 7 minutes. And if there are, I'm sorry. I don't think I can stop it anyway. At this point, anyway. Question number 1. What colour are the suede shoes in the opening track of the 1956 eponymous debut album Elvis Presley? Are they silver? Are they blue? Are they red? Or are they black? Is Elvis always banging on about his black suede shoes, his red suede shoes, his silver suede shoes, or his blue suede shoes? I noticed one AI video where it had me I think it was one where I was talking about the box filters from Temu, but it was a short, and it was me. I think in the original video I was going, oh yeah, this is the box filter from Temu. I finally bought it, type of thing. This is how you put it together. But the text was some American guy going, aquariums are great for your mental health, and I was like, oh, that's a bit weird. What color are Elvis's suede shoes? Most of you think they're blue. Don't step on my blue suede shoes. They are. Elvis Presley's iconic song, Blue Suede Shoes, is often associated with the phrase, don't step on my blue suede shoes. Just like what I said. Morley, 91 points. That's a fast answer. YouTube's fault, 92 points. That's a faster answer. There's some good quick answers. Well done, everyone. Question 2. What colour is the majority of toilet paper sold in France? Is it gold, pink, green, or bleu? What colour, ho-hee-haw, is the majority, ho-hee-haw, of toilet, ho-hee-haw paper, ho-ho-ho-ho, sold in France? Is it gold, pink, green, or blue? $50-50. It's either pink or green, you think. Imagine it was neither. It's pink. There's no definitive reason as to why, but the majority of toilet paper sold in France is pink. Zany McGinger with her toilet paper knowledge straight to the top there. 250 points after 2 questions. That's pretty good. DVP just behind, and Dan is in 3rd place. Question number 3. After Mandarin Chinese, what is the second most commonly spoken language by native speakers in the world? Is it Portuguese, English, Spanish, or Hindi? Am I a little bit out of... Should I be sitting here to be in the centre? There we go. That's better, isn't it? After Mandarin, what is the second most spoken language? You think it might be Spanish. 4 for English, 1 for Hindi, none for Portuguese. It is Spanish. With an estimated 485 million native speakers, Spanish is the second most commonly spoken language. Someone wants their member points? Brian purchased a membership just to get points. Well, you're going to make me do maths as well. Are you the Messiah, or are you a naughty boy this week? I'm going to 1, 2, 7, 2, 0, 2. Let's give Brian his points. I'm assuming you're the Messiah. That moves you up into 6th, Brian. Question number 4. What African country uses its own unique 13-month calendar? Is it Ghana, Senegal, Ethiopia, or Zimbabwe? That was ill-gotten points. You thought that was English. Ooh, a spread of answers on that one. Correct answer is Ethiopia. Ethiopian New Year corresponds to September the 11th in the Gregorian calendar. That's kind of pushing the definition of fun and facts. Just Average Dan is in the lead, ahead of It's YouTube's Fault. Zany McGinger in 3rd. Moving swiftly on to number 5. In animal anatomy, the circle of Willis, or as I read this earlier, the circle of Willis supplies blood to the blank, blank, blank. Is it the kidneys, the legs, the brain, or the heart? In animal anatomy, the circle of Willis. This question is only included because I read Willis. Supplies blood to the what? Kidneys, legs, brain, or heart? Can I have my points, please? I've given you your points, Brian. You got an extra 75. You were on 127 and I put you on the 202. What do points make? Prizes! Adam wants his points. Ooh, 7 of you have gone for brain. What do 7 of make? You are correct. Prizes! Oh, Adam. Asking for points and telling me what you're called. Excellent. 422 plus 75. It's 497. Who was the other one? That was Brian again. You only get one set, I'm afraid. Well, in fact, where is Brian? Oh, he's in 3rd place. You can have an extra 10 points for being a new member. There you go. Question 6. What film nabbed actor and humanitarian Paul Newman his only Academy Award? Was it Nobody's Fool, The Verdict, The Colour of Money, or Cool Hand Luke? Mandy's picked the only one she's seen, so it's probably wrong. Well, if it's the only one you've seen, it's probably because it was popular, and it's probably popular because he won an Oscar for it. You think it was The Colour of Money? It was The Colour of Money. Paul Newman was nominated for an Academy Award in 5 different decades, 50s, 60s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s, but his only win was 1986 for The Colour of Money. Adam, straight to the top, just average Dan, just behind, and Brian, the Messiah, in 3rd place. Question 7. Shall I pause the ads again? No, can't pause it yet. Question 7. Who was the first US president to be born in a hospital? Was it Dwight D. Eisenhower, Jimmy Carter, John F. Kennedy, or Woodrow Wilson? Can't see I'm UK-centric now. Who was the first US president to be born in a hospital? You said Jimmy Carter. The actual answer was Jimmy Carter. Well done. Jimmy Carter was born in the Wise Sanitarium Hospital, later changed to Lillian G. Carter Nursing Center. And there you go. Question 8. Who was the leader of the Soviet Union during the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962? Was it Nikita Khrushchev, Mikhail Gorbachev, Leonid Brezhnev, or Yuri Andropov? I will not do the accent, because I am a very clever person that remembered not to do it. The other 3 were on board a flying saucer. Yeah, they were born in a field. Hey, what's happened there? I just clicked on a comment and it's just disappeared. Somewhat strange is afoot. I can't even click it to unclick it. Who was the leader? You think? No, you don't know. So 5 for Khrushchev, 4 for Gorbachev, Brezhnev, 4. Nobody thought it was Andropov. Wouldn't it be funny if it... No, it's not. It's Khrushchev. The 13-day confrontation between the US and the Soviet Union, known as the Cuban Missile Crisis, took place in 1962 during the administrations of John F. Kennedy and Nikita Khrushchev. Zenny's being bugged by family. God, they're annoying, aren't they? Yours just want feeding 24/7 as well? Yeah, me too, yeah. I know how you feel. Question 9. In the traditional zodiac, which one of these is not an air sign? Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, Capricorn? I've either triggered an ad or I've stopped them for another 10 minutes. Which traditional zodiac sign is not an air sign? Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, or Capricorn? 9 of you going for Aquarius. Capricorn. Alongside Virgo and Taurus, Capricorn is one of the 3 earth signs. Aquarius does feel like it should be a water sign rather than an air sign. Then again, it's all made up bollocks, so who knows? Question 10, gambling question. Coming up after we have a quick review of the scores. Dan has made it into first place with 714 points. Its YouTube fault is 665. Blondie's in third with 536. But here you get to make a gamble, a bet on what you want to do for question 10. So you can gamble some, all, none of your points. Here comes your useless clue. It would be a marvel if you get this. It would be a marvel if you get this. I went to see Spider-Man the other day. This is not Spider-Man related. Question 10. Actor Benedict Cumbersnatch turns 50 in 2026. Which Marvel superhero is he famous for playing in film? Is he Daredevil, Doctor Strange, Star-Lord, or Hulk? Actor Benedict Cumbersnatch turns 50. Which Marvel superhero is he? 100% of you think he is Doctor Strange. 100% of you are correct. So this is all about how many points you bet. Did you risk enough? Well, it's relatively unchanged at the top. Just Average Dan is in first. YouTube's Fault is in second. The Messiah is in third. Other people are playing too. Kit Liz, your 8 points for August has not helped you all that much. Zenny just about to break the 1,000 with Brian. Right, here we go. Question 11. Straight in. Which of these Ryans was born in Canada in 1976? Was it Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Seacrest, Ryan Gosling, or Ryan Philippe? Is it Philippe or Philippe? I don't know. Is everyone in Hollywood called Ryan or Chris? Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Seacrest, Ryan Gosling, or Ryan Philippe? You think it's Ryan Reynolds because it's Ryan Reynolds. Well done, you. 100 points stretching away from Dan. Keep this rolling. Question 12. Which of these South African capital cities is closest to the equator? Bogota, Colombia, Quito, Ecuador, Lima, Peru, Caracas, Venezuela. Sorry for the accents again. I have known very few lately. I'm going on vibes, and apparently my vibes are running on about 60%. I wouldn't know some of these. I've tried to include a few easy ones and a few hard ones, so there's a good mix. Question... no, still on 12. One of you thinks it's Bogota. 7 of you think it's Quito. 5 of you are Lima, Peru. And nobody thinks it's Caracas, Venezuela. I mean, answers in the name, surely. Ecuador. The equator is just 16 miles north of Ecuador's capital city, Quito. Dan takes it. Zany got it. Adam thought it was a trick question. Question 13. What is the original Latin name for the month of August? Is it Gammarus, Sextilis, Bob, or Augustus? What is the original Latin name for the month of August? Gammarus, Sextilis, Bob, or Augustus? I'm pleased that 2 of you have gone for Bob. Five of you have gone for Augustus, 2 of you have gone for Bob, 3 for Sextilis, and 3 for Gammarus. The answer is Sextilis, because it was renamed to August after Augustus, but it was Sextilis before that because it was the 6th month of the year where they were doing it. I don't know. Gammarus is a shrimp, Bob is Bob. Adam got it, Zenny got it. The vibes are strong in this one. Blondie got it. Very good, very good. Question 14. The classic mullet hairstyle is often referred to as business in the front, blank in the back. Weekend in the back, rockin' in the back, vacation in the back, or party in the back. Rowan Atkinson's Bob. Yes. Business in the front, blank in the back. Ooh, almost everyone going for party in the back. It is party in the back. Of course it is. Dan still in the lead. See my comments above. Can you add my 8 points on? We logged out when you gave us the bonus points. We were on the board twice, and the bonus points are on the one at the bottom of the scoreboard. Oh, so they are. I should have noticed that. Seeing you ask so nicely. I can't see the other. Oh, there it is. I'm going to give you 9 just for asking so nicely. Question 15. What is the name of this high-piled men's hairstyle? I didn't even realise I'd put in 2 hair-related questions for someone who's so follically challenged. This is quite strange. But what is the name of this haircut? Is that a man bun, a flat top, a pompadour, or a crew cut? Man bun, flat top, pompadour, or crew cut? You think it's either a flat top or a pompadour? It's a pompadour. Though often considered a male hairstyle, the pompadour is named after Jeanne Antoinette Poisson, Marquise de Pompadour. She was the 18th century mistress of King Louis, very influential in fashion in that. Adam takes the lead. He's pipped Dan. Dan, also follically challenged, doesn't know his hairstyles either. Nothing manly about a hair bun. I think if you have enough hair to merit a bun, then I have no argument for you. Question 16. What American rock band released the 1976 chart-topping album Hotel California? Was that Aerosmith, the Doobie Brothers, Steely Dan, or the Eagles? Who released the album Hotel California 50 years ago? Nine of you going for the E. I can't believe not everyone didn't get this. How do you not know Hotel California was the Eagles? Because it was the Eagles. Dan says, I choose to shave my head. yeah, me too. Technically, there is hair up there. I do shave it off. It's been a long time since it was a choice. My hubby rocks a man bun occasionally so his hair doesn't get caught in tools. Oh, there's a manly man there. Enough hair that it gets in the way of your tools when you're doing man jobs. Couldn't be manlier. But to be fair, I had long hair when I was a kid. If man buns were a thing, I would probably have gone for it to show off all my glorious hair. Now that I can't do it. Question 17. Who penned the Gothic horror novel Interview with a Vampire, which was first published in 1976? Anne Rice, Clive Barker, Daphne du Maurier, or Bram Stoker? Graham has more chance of getting a bun in his beard than his hair. All right. I can take points off as well, you know. Oh, 4 for Bram Stoker, 2 for Daphne du Maurier, 1 for Clive, and 6 for Anne. The answer was Anne Rice. The 1994 film adaptation of Anne Rice's novel stars Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt alongside our young Kirsten Dunst as vampires. No shit, Sherlock. Question 18. With the chemical symbol Hg, what element was formerly known as hydrangeum? Hydrangeum? Hydrodryrum? Hydrodryrum? Read it yourself. Silver, iron, mercury, or gold? What was the chemical Hg formerly known as? You think it's either silver or mercury. It's mercury. I love the health and safety videos relating to long hair and machinery, also forklifts and canteens. I know, we used to get that as well. And everyone would just stand and point at me, go, you don't need to listen to this bit, Graham. Like, ha! Smash. Penultimate question time. There we have a quick look at the scores. Adam is on 1889. Average Dan's on 1862. Zenny's on 1637. So your top three. Other people are playing too. Steven's on 4th, Blondie 5th, Messiah's dropped down to 6th, Lee's on 7th, Strabo, Strike, and other people I couldn't get to. Penultimate question. A person suffering from dysphagia has trouble what? Swallowing, sleeping, swimming, or seeing? A person suffering from dysphagia has trouble what? Swallowing, sleeping, swimming, seeing. Eight of you going for swallowing. Well done. The medical condition dysphagia is characterized by a patient's difficulty swallowing. Right, as we go into the final question, it's very tight at the top. It's anybody's game between Adam and Dan. Depends if they're going to gamble at all. Anyone in the top 10 could win, theoretically. Amrender, you're going to struggle. Unless everybody gambles and gets it wrong. If you're having trouble swimming, you're just drowning. Yeah, that's what that's for. So a fear of swimming is drowning. Right, are we ready? Here comes your useless clue. Final gambling question, number 20. Where is my what? Where is my what? Where on the human body is the vomer located? Is it in the nose, the leg, the stomach, or the ear? Where is your vomer? Assuming you have one. Nose, leg, stomach, ear. Oh, 9 of you have gone for nose. 1 stomach, 3 ears. The correct answer is... it's the nose with 69%. The vomer is a small thin bone separating the left and right nasal cavities in your nose. Now you know. Right, let's see. How's it happened at the end? Your winners tonight, in 3rd place, Danny McGinger with 3,261 points. In 2nd place, Just Average Dan with 3,870 even. And your winner tonight, Adam, it's YouTube's fault, with 3,950 points. Well done, everyone, but especially those 3. CVP just misses out. Blondie in 5th, Brian in 6th, Strike, Lauren, Maddie, and Mona Lee making up your top 10. Right, while we do a little bit of admin, just talk amongst yourselves. Export that. Open up that. I need to go down here and find last month's and copy that. No, not that. Scratch this. Aquarium Adventures quiz. We're in August, so we need a new one. There's a ghost in here. So we will delete, 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 delete. Right. Delete. Copy. Wait a minute. Big one. Oh, yes it is. There you go. It's YouTube's fault. In top spot, Mona Lee in number 10th, and everyone else in between. Well done, everybody. Right. And well done, everybody. We made it to the end. Thank you for sticking with us. Advertisement now is my favourite part. Oh, I should have done that there. I should have... Well, I don't know what's happened. Ad inserted. Oh, I did it without even thinking about it. Does that mean nobody's watching this now? Nobody can see this? That's not how it works, surely. I didn't mean that. I take it back. Let's just do it again. Oh, God. Getting flustered. I picked ear, said Lee. I can get a 6 without extra points. Well, you never know how it would have worked. If you were able to play games, you're able to hit the like, so don't forget. Right. But you only got 2 likes. That can't be a thing, surely. I have no idea how many likes. They don't show us. No. 25 likes. Better than 2, but I'll take it. Right, are you excited? Are you ready for the new game? Are you ready for the chaos this is going to unleash on the YouTube community as we try and learn a whole new game? Spiritual Reaver, hello, how we doing? I've just tuned in and I'm getting flipped. For some reason, ads are being played in my live stream and I didn't think anyone's watching, so I didn't mean it. I meant nothing by it.
What the
Why
points
does anybody watch this?
Prizes!
You don't get extra points in the new game either, so I'm going to have to explain this to you. Right. So this is the new game. The new game is called Play the Your Price Cards is Right. So it's a bit of a play on words, you know, the highest form of comedy, the pun. It's play your cards right and the price is right. So it's an amalgamation. That's not the right word. It's a mashup. It's an answer smash of a game. It's play your cards right for 9 questions, and the final question is the price is right. So, what I have done, I'm going to present you with 10 pictures, which will be, in this case, tonight is an aquarium theme. So we're sticking to fishy theme stuff. So you'll be presented with 10 aquarium items and you will be asked to guess. So there's no skill really. I'm really selling this well. You'll be asked to guess, play your card right style, whether the next one will be higher or lower than this one. So for instance, I don't know. If the first item was a dropper, I'll show you that, tell you this costs £1.99. You guess whether the next item I'm going to show you is higher or lower. So more expensive or less expensive, cheaper or more expensive. If you get it right, I will just check this because I think it's Eliminator style. Is it Eliminator style? It is. It is Eliminator style. But you get to keep playing if you're eliminated, so that's fine. If you make it all the way to the end, the final question, because there isn't going to be is the next one, is going to be how much is this item? And you have to guess Price is Right rules without going over, and whoever's closest out of the remaining players is the winner. Simples. For prices, I have used the amazon.co.uk website. So I don't want to hear, I can see it cheaper on eBay. Get more of that. We got that? Is that okay? I'm going to give you a minute to dilute that, to devolve, something, digest. If you have questions, type them in the chat. I'm going to get a drink. Back in a second. Hello again. So Adam says, so Eliminator with 50-50 chance and nothing we can do to actually win, do well or bad. Got it. Adam's got it. Anyone else? God. It doesn't want me to be. Why won't you open? There we go. Us Americans don't know what you weirdos are willing to pay for crap. Well, that is a limitation of the game, but to be fair, next week we'll do Amazon.com. How about that? Assuming this doesn't make all of you unsubscribe immediately. So, are we happy with that? Have we got the idea? Does it make sense? I'm going to give it a couple more minutes to ask questions. I'm going to put the link in chat to, it'll be it's the same software again. It's just, it'll be 10 questions. The first 9 will be yes or no. And then the last one will be a open text field. I'm only giving you 30 seconds for these answers because I don't want people going, oh, I'll look it up on Amazon, see how much it is. So you shouldn't have enough time for that, but you should have enough time to answer. Scanny thing for the scanny thing people. Here's the big fish. Yes, Brian is. He is a very big fish. I filmed another video today talking about my future plans to swap these tanks around and how it's not something I'm relishing, if I'm completely honest, but it needs to be done. So it will be at some point. Sometimes things look more expensive. Yeah, well, that's part of the game. It's just a bit of fun. Share the link so I can split the screen. There you go. The link is here. I remember on the first actual Eliminator, I got to 90. Whoa, very good. And got sweet F all. How many beers had you had before making the vid? 0 beers. This is a 0 beer game. So I appreciate everyone giving me a little bit of leniency when I'm trying these new games, but I'm trying to keep it interesting and do something a little bit different all the time. I will probably put a poll out on Discord or something, listing all the games we've tried over the last few months and saying, like, which of them worked, which didn't work, which would you like to see? Is there any other ideas you've got? So I'm just going to keep trying things for a wee while longer, see whether or not we can have a bit of fun, because that's all it's just meant to be, a bit of fun. Weren't some of y'all paying like $200 for a PFA? That was the Australians. I think they were paying silly money for them. So there's no fish. It is fish-related items, because you can't buy fish on Amazon. So it's just this week, things on Amazon. Next week, things on eBay. The week after that, things on Amazon.com. Next week, who knows? Next week, nothing. Maybe non-fish items will be more comparable. Yeah, we might do themes and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Right, have we got it? Have we got an idea? We have 14 of you are in, at least. So, quick recap. We'll play yes. We'll play yes. We'll play, press the button. You're going to be presented with a picture of a thing and asked whether the next thing will be cheaper or more expensive than that thing. So I'll tell you the price of the first thing. In fact, I can share now. I can divulge immediately. The first item is a Fluval FX6 filter. Here we go. Nobody look stuff up because that's cheating. Trying to keep it good. So first 9, 2 choices. Will the next item be cheaper or more expensive than an FX6? Welcome to Play There. Your price cards is right. Will the next item be cheaper or more expensive than an FX6, which is retailing right now for £305.99 on Amazon.co.uk. This is not an advertisement. Oh, 13 of you have gone cheaper. 1 of you's gone more expensive. Imagine if I'd picked something really expensive. Oh yeah, good point, Adam. You've given the price. What else can we look up? Good point. So, you can look up now, because the cheaper people are correct. Because the next item is the amazing book, The Fishkeeper Mindset, by a wonderful fellow called Graham Kerr. Its hardback copy is retailing for £16.99. So, of the 14 players, 13 survivors. Only 1 person has been eliminated. Question number 2. Will the next item be cheaper or more expensive than my book at £16.99 for the hard copy edition? Paperback is cheaper, Kindle is even cheaper. Signed versions available on my website. Will the next item be cheaper or more expensive than my book? 12 of you have gone more expensive. 1 of you has gone cheaper. Cheaper is correct. It was fishnets for £7.43 for a set of 2. We have 1 survivor. Everybody except Adam is out, but you can still keep playing. Question number 3. Will the next item be cheaper or more expensive than fishnets? Fishnets. At £7.43. Oh God, there's only 10 seconds on these. I didn't mean to make it quite so quick. Should have been 30 seconds. Well, okay. Bear that in mind. Cheaper or more expensive? You thought only 1 person went cheaper. 1 person was right, because I went with aquascaping tweezers for £4.99. I don't know how there's 2 people left. Apparently there's 2 survivors. I don't understand how that's happened. Remember, teething problems. It's a new quiz. Question number 4. Will the next item be cheaper or more expensive than aquascaping tongs? Nothing in this game for two. Nothing for a pair. Ah, fuck that up. Sorry. That was my best Bruce Forsyth impression screwed up. Well, we've gone for more expensive. Nobody's gone for cheaper. It was more expensive because it was a Hueger CO2 kit at £46.98. So Harry and Adam are somehow both still in. I don't quite understand how that works, but it's fine. We'll just go with it. Question number 5. Will the next item be cheaper or more expensive than a CO2 kit at £46.98? Oh, close this one, but it was more expensive because it was a set of 3 Hueger lights at £93.03. Still in. And we move swiftly on because everyone's loving this. Question 6. Will the next item be cheaper or more expensive than 3 Hueger lights at £93.03? What will the next item be? You think it'll be cheaper? It is cheaper because it's 2 Hueger lights. I don't know why, but that tickled me immensely. Moving swiftly on. Question 7. Will the next item be cheaper or more expensive than 2 Hueger lights? I promise it's not 1 Hueger light. 4 of you have gone for cheaper. And 4 of you are correct because it's a bottle of Seachem Safe at £14.25. Both of you are amazingly still in. Question 8. Will the next item be cheaper or more expensive than Seachem Safe, or Seachem Safe as I like to say, at £14.25? You've gone for more expensive. It is more expensive. It is an 8 kilo bag of Fluval Stratum. Oh, we've lost Adam. But it's not quite as fun as I imagined when everybody goes out in question 2. It's fun for me though. Oh, right. Harry's still in. Question 9. Will the next item be cheaper or more expensive than Fluval Stratum at £31.59? Oh, what way is it going to go? Oh, 50-50 on this one. It was more expensive. So remember that because we're on question 9. So the next question is different. Still in. Right. So the final question is Price is Right rules. I want you to guess the price of this item without going over. Closest without going over wins. Question 10. Here we go. Price is Right rules. Closest to win. An Eheim Thermocool 400 watt heater. How much is one of them? So you know it's more than £35, whatever. How much more? Right. Everyone's got their answers in. Oh, right. I need to do some working out now because the correct answer was an Eheim Thermal Control 400 watt heater on Amazon.co.uk is currently £55.94. So we've got a £51.49. I think that's the closest one, but I need to know who did all them. So hang on. Because only Harry was still in, if I'm correct. And he said £36, so I guess he's the only one that counts. So I'm going to give you both correct answer. 36. And the one who got closest with 51.49. Well done. Harry has won somehow. Are there 11 questions? Oh, no. No, stop. Finish. Somehow, with 8 correct, the Spiritual Reaper has won the Eliminator 10 question game. I don't understand. Okay, sorry, it didn't quite work out. I thought it was fun, purely because I can mentally picture all tables being flipped across the world. What unit of currency? Pounds. Trust me to do well in the game that needs 0 skill. Right. Okay, hit me with your feedback. Worth another try? Any refinements or bin? That's your options. Takes a lot of time and mental space to try and come up with these games. So, be kind. How do you go about ordering boxes of discus abroad? I don't know how you mean. What do you mean? You want to buy my discus and you live abroad? Tough. You can't. I'm sorry. Nah. Whatever country you're in, find a discus specialist and buy from them. I think that's the best way to do it. Even if I won, this game would do nothing for me. There's no skill involved. Do we get to vote on these being a game going forward? I know what I'm voting. Okay, so we know how Zenny feels. So these are the game ideas I've been working with. So this is my game list. See if you like any of these. Higher or lower, which is kind of this one. So I show you a product that's whatever it is. So it's this game basically. Bigger or smaller. It's very similar to this one, but rather than prices, it's hotter or colder. There's another one. Most expensive filters, where you have to put into order. So I give you 4 products and you have to put them into order in terms of cost. Longest lifespans, easiest, hardest. No, this is my second one. Hang on. My other games are. That's Price is Right. Real versus AI, where I generate AI images alongside real images, and you have to pick which one's AI generated. Spot the difference. I put up 2 pictures with 5 or so differences, and you have to call out what the differences are. What's wrong with this tank? This is where I find some deliberately wrong setups, or show you setups with common mistakes, and you have to guess which one it is that's wrong. Family Fortunes, or I don't know what you call it in America. Is it Family Feud or something like that? Or Pointless, which is another one along similar lines, where I pretend to ask 100 people a question, and then you have to guess how many people answered the same way. Mystery Zoom, so we've had Zoom of Doom, so a theory take of Zoom of Doom, where it might be videos as well as still images. I may move them around. Guess the sound, where I record things and you have to guess what they are. So that could be an air pump, a filter trickling, a man farting. Who knows what it could be. Google reviews, where I post like 5 reviews of a product, whether it's on Amazon or Google or whatever it is, and you have to guess what the product is. Would you rather? So this is not so much of a quiz item, it's just when my kids were young, this is all they would talk about is, Dad, would you rather be eaten by a dinosaur in the desert or killed by a shark in a toilet? And you'd be like, what? Play your cards right. We've kind of done that. Fake advice, where I've been collecting Facebook comments for a potential video idea of bad advice. So this would be, I present some fake advice and some real advice, and you guess which one's real and which one's made up. Build a tank. So this one's I don't know how this one would work, but basically I give everybody £1,000, not real £1,000, but you have a budget of £1,000, and you have to come up with the best shopping list on Amazon or whatever of what you would buy to put together a tank. Amazon reviews, same as other one. Top trumps. So we try and do fish top trumps. I don't know how this would work, but I thought that was a good idea. So you could have like categories like size of fish, the highest pH it can live in, temperature, how much it costs, all those kind of things. And then my almost my favorite TV program is Taskmaster. Do you have Taskmaster in the US? Has it made it to America? Which is basically, it's a kind of comedy game showy type thing where there is a taskmaster who sets up ridiculous tasks for 4 comedians to go and do the tasks, where this one would be a nightmare to solve, but we would have to have some people from the community, and we would decide, I would be the taskmaster and I would set you a challenge one week, and then like the week later we would see your attempts at the challenge. Yeah, and then there's all the variations on the Price is Right type ones where I was going on about. So, any of them float your boat, or are they all ridiculous? We are here to entertain you, Hazrael. Thank you for that. It was great fun. I know that Blondie enjoyed it a lot. I'm reading that as in, with this voice, was great fun. I know Blondie enjoyed it a lot. I want to order them in from abroad to Northern Ireland. Have a look at Chen's Discus. I know they do trips to Northern Ireland every now and again, so you might be able to get a delivery from them. Northern Ireland shouldn't be too difficult. If I was posting, I've been looking into shipping fish, because lots of people have got in touch wanting to buy fish, and then they go, so can you send them to this address? And I'm like, no, I don't. So I'm finally going to have to look it up. But there's basically 3 companies in the UK that are licensed to send fish. One of them has like a minimum order, so you have to commit to so many deliveries a month, and I just don't have that much. So it would be cost prohibitive. The other one keeps saying they will get back to me and has yet to get back to me, and the other one ignoring me. So I need to get back on that one again. I think we should play a yearly game. How many shops would Graham visit this year? I've done 2 already. What are you on about? I like the AI generative one. What, the one where AI versus real, and you have to pick one. Countdown. Oh, I'm going to add that to the list. This document's a PDF, so I can't edit it. I have to think how I do love a countdown. I was never really a student, but during my student days, that was a highlight. I know, Pointless. I like that game. Yep. I was thinking about that one. I suck at the Zoom one, but it still feels winnable, even if not by me. Mhm. Google review gets the product. Sounds awesome. Okay, one for Google. I'll come back and I'll look at these afterwards. This is sounding like Alan Partridge talking into a memo recorder for a TV show. That's literally how this happens. I will be sitting in a meeting where I'll be going, yeah, so you'll notice, guys, your Azure consumption this month's gone up a little bit. That's because we did the DR test and then we had the penetration test. So we left all the assets. Ooh, countdown for aquariums. And they'll be like, what? Never mind, that wasn't for you. Anyway, so carrying on. If we could just maybe get the viruses down a little bit. I've watched every episode of Taskmaster on YouTube. I love it. It is the best TV show ever. I do like it. I don't even have a TV anymore. I haven't watched it in years. Well, you have YouTube. They're all on YouTube now. I definitely recommend it. It's really good. The Taskmaster might be cool. We might actually see what people look like. Okay, so if I will do a short or something asking for, or no, I don't know how to do this. I'll think about that one a bit more because it's going to need people to. It's going to be Taskmaster on a budget. Obviously, they have a whole production crew, and they give you the task, and you go away, and it is filmed as they try and do it. And I think that the fun thing about it is that you find ways and means around what is the obvious intention of the way to do it. I think that could be funny is your interpretation of the task that I give you as Taskmaster, which would all be aquarium themed, I guess, at least once. And then it's kind of like a 70% formed idea in my head that you would have to film yourself doing this thing to make it worthwhile. And then obviously I would watch your submission for the task and judge you, like how Taskmaster works. If we could get some live games going, maybe we get like the 4 people of the week do a task and then we do a live task where you join me on stream, like in the chat. We do something like, if anybody fancies that, we should be okay. Countdown would be fun. Yeah, yeah. 8 out of 10 cats does count down my guilty pleasure. I do like that as well, yes. Mainland UK won't ship fish to me in Northern Ireland, even though I'm part of the UK, so I'm looking to purchase abroad for my fish room. I mean, I know some, I mentioned chains because they personally deliver fish, so they do runs. Is it once a month? Breaking everything. Maybe once a month or something like that, where they will do a run from, because they're based down south near London, up the M1 into Northern Ireland, across to Scotland, and back down again, and drop off fish to customers who can't make it to them. So it's worth asking. Say Graham sent you if you ask them one. Their Facebook group's really responsive. They should let you know. I feel like it would be easier to do the prize task challenge where you have people send, create, describe a certain thing. Yeah. This is what I mean about it being a kind of 70% formed idea of, oh, that would be fun. I think most of it I'm thinking, oh, pardon me, I'm thinking that would be fun because I really like the program. So we'll see how we get on. I found chains a bit pricey. Really? I thought they were one of the more reasonable ones. Let's have a look, shall we? So this is Chains Discus. No, well, priceless, don't we? 3.5 to 4 inch, 120 quid. Alton Floras, 3.5, 4 inch, 50 quid. But let's find something I've got. So blue dragon snake skins. I'm trying to find something. Blue snake skins. 3.5 to 4 inch, 50 quid. So I have blue snake skins about that size. They're a little bit more pricey than me, but I am trying to price keenly. These are not bad prices for discus. I mean, when they get bigger, this is what I always talk about. The work that goes into making a fish 6.5 to 7 inches. That's a lot of food. That's a lot of electricity. That's a lot of water. That doesn't come for free. But 4.5 inch fish for 60 quid, that's not bad. I have 4.5 inch fish for 60 quid as well. And obviously, this is about size is the main factor, but obviously the desirability of the particular strain. So you're a red melon, 3.5 to 4 inch, 50 quid. That's probably going to be one of the more common ones. So it's going to be one of the cheaper ones. Whereas what's really a super panthera, I don't even know what that is. 350 quid. It's quite consistent. I don't think that's bad. Rummy nose tetras, 250, cardinals, 250 for small fish. I mean, it's not. There will be shops selling these things cheaper than that, but it's not miles out. Yeah, I mean, it's expensive. Discus are expensive fish, but they're definitely not taking the piss. I think it's comparable with all the other big discus sellers. I've seen YouTube shorts of Taskmaster. It's great. I mean, definitely go and watch it. I think they did try and take it to America, and the guy who's the Taskmaster's assistant, Alex Horn, is actually the guy who developed. It's his idea. It's his program, and he went over to America with an American. They didn't take Greg Davis, and apparently it just didn't work. But they've been touring this year. Alex Horn and Greg Davis, the UK Taskmaster pair, have been doing live shows in the US like since about January or February or something like that, which apparently have gone down very well. Because they've taken on, if you have watched it, the last few years, last 2 or 3 years, they've had big name US comedians have come on. They've all been really good, but you can tell that they're just fans of the show as well, and that's why they've come on. So that's why it works really well. I think that's the hallmark of a good program is when the guests enjoy being there. You can tell most of them really enjoy being there. The guy you used to talk about up this way has shut down, I found out. Who's that? Is that Durham Discus? Both him and Corbin Discus use the same supplier, who I'm potentially looking at. So that is one of the things. Aquarium Adventures fish shop arm. It's currently, my model at the moment is I'm importing small fish and growing them on and breeding obviously small fish and growing them on and trying to sell them. So people keep buying them when they're small, which is a great problem to have. But my idea is I'm buying the same fish that your average fish shop will get. So even if you're not in Sheffield, I'm showing you, or the plan is to show you that you can. I have made videos saying never buy a discus fish from a local fish store, buy it from a specialist. And the reason I say that is more nuanced than I have explained in the past, because your local fish store doesn't have the time and energy or desire to put the same amount of effort into a discus as I do. So I'm showing you that if you get a fish from your local fish store, shipped in, a discus from them, this is what you can do with it if you give it the proper care. If you leave it in the shop for 6 months, it gets stunted. It gets, because they feed it once a day with some flake. They feed it with a little bit of 25 degrees in the tank and a bit of flake, and same care every other fish gets, and maybe a water change once a week or whatever it might be. Whereas I can take that same fish and hopefully grow it out to a decent sized specimen, a nice shape, all those good things, to show that it's not the fish's fault, it's the way it's cared for. So if you buy it from me at the smallest size, ideally I'd like to be able to show you in 6 months it'll look like this one, in a year it'll look like that one. And I will grow them out to that size to show you the documented video journey of taking in the little fish like that and making it a big fish like that. And if you want to come on the journey with me, you're welcome to buy them at that price. It'll never be cheaper, but the bigger they get, so once a month, and I'm going to make a video about this, probably the first of the month, I'm going to reset all the prices on my fish, because I'll have grown them for a month and they'll be that little bit bigger. And it's because I'll have spent X on food, X on electricity, heating the water, X on water, changing the water. So it costs money to do this kind of thing. And that's not for everyone. So if you want to buy the end product, it's going to be more expensive. That's why on Chen's, a 7-inch fish is 400 quid. A 3-inch fish is 50 quid. Very different things. So my current goal, or my current model, is buy small fish and breed small fish, grow them up and sell them. I do at some point want to import high quality fish. Now, the highest quality fish I've ever had, I've had show winning fish before from Chen's. So I've had 2 fish that won European shows. Lovely fish. And I've had fish from Martin Ung, who's like a celebrated prize winning breeder over in Malaysia. I've been in touch with him and talked about importing some of his fish, but I'm just not big enough. I don't have unlimited funds, so it actually costs a lot of money to run this fish room anyway. So all the money I make from YouTube goes into running this fish room. Any money I make on top of that from the shop or from selling food or whatever it is, gets either reinvested into it or back again. So there are big investments involved. So when I talked about spending, like shipping in the discs, I've spent thousands on shipping in discs that I've got, and that's money that I've saved up over the years of doing YouTube. But to do like a big proper order, I think Martin Ung, when I spoke to him, I think he had a minimum order of 12 boxes. And just the shipping alone is more than what I've spent on fish so far. So never mind filling 12 boxes full of discus fish that are very expensive fish. So that's like thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of investment. I just don't have it, so I can't do that yet. That's going to be a future thing that we need to work on. So I am I just can't use my money for this, if that makes sense. So I'm using YouTube's money. My money from my proper job and everything that I do goes into my house and my family and food on the table, electric bills, all that kind of stuff. My fish hobby pays for itself through what YouTube does, and it just about covers it. It breaks it even and allows me to buy new stock every now and again. It's getting bigger and better and bigger and better, but it's a slow process. I just don't have, here's 10 grand to chuck at that. So that's why I can't do all these things. I'd love to be able to just jump in and do all these things. I just can't justify it because there's so many other things that I've got to sort out first. Which is why the current model is going to be the current model for a while. Unless something crazy happens, that's kind of where we're at. I think I'm in a better position than a lot of people who try this because I've got the YouTube channel and it is fairly popular, and I do have a little bit of a reach, which is why I'm looking into shipping fish, because my reach is, I have had people come from Scotland and Bristol and someone talking about coming from Southampton. But most people, when they find out I'm in Sheffield, go, "Oh, can you ship them?" And I go, "Well, not yet." So I'm looking into that. That's why I'm looking into that, because I have interest. So I maybe get 1 or 2 visitors a week, but I maybe have about 10 inquiries a week. And most of the inquiries fizzle out when they find out I'm in Sheffield and they happen to be in, I don't know, Liverpool or whatever. Because yeah, it's a ball ache just moving things around. So we'll see what happens. I'm kind of happy just dipping my toes in, slowly catch your monkey and all that kind of stuff. We'll see what we get. The generation game where you have to remember lots of to win. Oh, yeah, the memory game. I did write that down, but I've not put it in my list. Oh, and then my pen's not working. Oh, that's a good call. I'll leave Brian alone. He's just called out Sheds for being pricey and been fact checked live. Yeah. I used to buy Cheshire Oaks discus when he sold on eBay. His prices were excellent and they were great quality, but eBay stopped selling live fish. They did. Yeah, I mean, it hurt a lot of the private breeders. I mean, there's good and bad to that story. So there were a lot of proper dodgy sellers on eBay. And there's a lot of eBay sellers who were, I mean, they would have the finest of fine print saying, "Oh, we don't actually have this fish. We'll just source it for you. That's why we'll get it for you in like 3 months." And you're like, "I can do that myself. Thank you very much." But there was lots of the. Do I want to name names? One day. There were a few dodgy discus sellers, and I've heard some horror stories about them going round pretending to be customers and like dropping poison in tanks and things like that of some people, and just selling the worst of the worst quality fish with terrible advice and terrible aftercare and just terrible terribleness. And eBay going down the route of not allowing live sales anymore has stopped them, but it's also stopped the people who are doing it well and doing good things. So I don't know. I'm conflicted because I think it's good that there's some regulation. I just wish it was enforced a bit more, because if you're in the know, you know someone who's selling fish and doing things. There are still plenty of people doing my kind of level of selling fish that don't have a pet shop license, that don't have that haven't gone through and jumped through all the hoops. Some of them are perfectly competent and very good standards, and I have no complaints about it. Some of them are just dodgy and looking to make as much money as possible. Conversely, people who have jumped through the hoops and have shops and bricks and mortar shops are just going through the motions and trying to make as much money as possible. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It's a difficult one. But yeah, there used to be good sellers on eBay, and there was terrible ones, and that's always going to be the case. Question: if you were to get a 10 grand check from YouTube, what would you actually buy? Now, this seems strange to say. Nothing. Because it's not, that's, without sounding ungrateful, it's not enough to do anything. So if I wanted to open, say my goal was to open a bricks and mortar shop, 10 grand's not going to cut it. I could spend 10 grand on fish. I could spend 10 grand on dry goods. I could spend 10 grand on rent, insurance, all these things, but it's not going to last. It's not going to be enough. I could, I could bring in one of the big orders from somebody like Martin Ung, but then I would need more tank space and I would need more this, that, and the other. So yeah, it's one of those where it's annoyingly too much, but not enough at the same time. So I definitely wouldn't say, oh no, I don't want that. I'd take it and I'd save it and I'd find a way to be ready to do the next thing at some point. But it's just, it's a number that I don't know. It doesn't solve all my problems, if that makes sense. I think you'll be in a porpoise next year. What? I think you'll be in a porpoise built unit. Oh. I think you'll be in a purpose-built unit this time next year. I'll be in a porpoise. I think you'll be in a I don't know. I think it's going to go a bit slower than that because I'm not getting the revenue enough. So there's a little bit. It's a weird dilemma where I've been talking to a few people because obviously when you're trying to start up something like this, you try and get as much information as possible and ask as many questions as possible. So all the people that I know from fish clubs and things like that that have tried this, like selling like a private fish room and trying to sell from home. And a lot of the complaints, so the good things are people say, oh, I wish I was doing what you were doing, because when I did it, someone would come to my house, they spend an hour and a half in my garage chatting away, looking at fish, then they spend 15 quid on guppies and leave. At least when it's discus, they'll spend an hour and a half chatting your ear off and spend 200 quid and leave. So that's a little bit better. So there is that side of things. But it's competing with my proper job. So I don't think I'll ever earn as much doing this as my proper job does. So I can't really steal time off my proper job to put more time into this, because the proper job pays the mortgage and puts food on the table and does all those things. This just pays for itself at the moment. Now, over time, it might start to creep up, and who knows what all that is. But I've talked about it a few times and I've researched it up the wazoo and looked at it, and there's definitely a lot more that can be done if you have a proper setup. So running a business from home allows you, it affords you some leniency in what you do. But if I was running from a proper shop, if I had a unit, I'd be able to claim so many more things back from the government. So I'm not allowed to claim. So when I submit a tax return, I'm not allowed to claim power as a business expense. Whereas if I had a unit, I'd be able to claim power as a business expense. I'm not allowed to claim broadband. I'm not allowed to claim water. I'm not all the things that are actual expenses in running this place. I'm not allowed to claim against them in my tax return because I'm doing it from home. Whereas if I was doing that from a unit, I would be able to claim some of those. And there are so many other grants and things available that you can't get if you're running your business from home that you can get if you're running it from a unit. So there's a part of my brain that says if you run from a unit, it kind of almost pays for the rent. But then there's all the other costs that go on top of it. If you're running a shop from a unit, I'd need to buy more aquariums. I'd need to have insurance. I'd need to pay business rates. I'd need to pay staff, potentially. I'm not necessarily going to be able to run it on my own. I'd need to, it just piles up on top of each other. I need to stock it. So I'd need to spend thousands upon thousands of pounds on stock, on dry goods, on people are going to, if I'm opening to the public, they're going to expect to be able to get things. If I'm running from here, they're coming here because I'm a discus specialist and I might have, I don't know, cardinals or snails or something else that the odd persons, but I'm primarily a discus place. If you come to my shop, I'm advertising as an aquarium shop. I need to have all the other things as well to get the foot traffic side of things. So it's a very different proposition. I've run the numbers so many times. We'll see. We'll see how it works. I don't know. A lot of people used to buy off eBay and take them to auctions, and vice versa. A lot of people used to buy at auctions and stick them straight on eBay. There was one guy at the auction I usually go to, my Sheaf Valley one, where you could see there was no way one person had the amount of aquariums available for the amount of fish that he was buying, because he was just buying things that nobody else wanted. And you could see the very next day, it would all go up on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. But you never know. Is that so terrible? Question, why does everyone pick on guppies? Yeah, I get that. There's a lot of people that just have no interest in guppies. I still retain some love for guppies and endlers. I think they can be a very interesting thing. I think it's because they're seen as easy, they're seen as beginner, or they're seen as just guppies. But I think they're a fascinating fish to learn on, if nothing else. One of the things that I still think about making a video about this, about breeding guppies and how many tanks you need to make your own line of guppies, how to set a line of guppies, how things like temperature affect the ratio of males to females in your breeding, and what you can do to pick specific traits within a guppy, and it all happens so fast because it happens in weeks and months rather than months and years, because the breeding cycle's so short, and it's just really interesting. So I get what you mean, that some people think they're a little bit beginnery fish and just the guppies, but there's a lot to them. Right. Anyway, where did we get up to? I think it's been bred that much that the auction turned into guppy shows oversaturated the market. Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a few things, I've been talking about this recently with a few people, where things that are popular in the aquarium hobby are ruined by people in the aquarium hobby. German blue rams as a prime example, that 30 years ago nobody had ever seen them. Then everybody saw them, so what, a tiny little cichlid that looks like that and is bright coloured, and it can be kept in a reasonably sized tank. Oh, let's get more of them. So overbreeding and bad genetics, unscrupulous breeding. So like, I guess that fits into the overbreeding category, but things like pumping them full of antibiotics and all those kind of things led to the market being flooded with really poor quality fish. And I had it, and every people I've been speaking to recently, I had it where you'd buy a fish and go, oh, look at that, it's great. And then over 6 months to a year, it would just get paler, more lethargic, and just wither away. Still be eating, it'd still be doing everything. It'd last a year if you were lucky. And as a fish keeper, especially when you're a newer or a more novice fish keeper, you're tearing your hair out if I had any, going, what am I doing wrong? What? And now I know that I wasn't doing anything wrong. It was the fish had no chance. It wasn't me. And it's whether it's guppies, whether it's rams, whatever it might be, the popular thing of the day, that just, we ruin it. Humans, we're bloody rubbish at this kind of thing. So yeah, it's a difficult one, that. Right, we are at the point, we're 10 minutes past the point that I usually say goodbye. Thank you for joining me. Over the next couple of days, if you haven't already, join the Discord. It's been a bit quiet recently, more recently because I haven't been on there as much, and scammers constantly trying to get it. Join the Discord. We'll talk about potential new games. We'll talk about potentially how we incorporate a task mastery type thing, or one of the other ones. Maybe do some polls or something to see whether we can get some interest, garner some interest. But fundamentally, I think it could probably split into two sections. People who are willing to do a little bit of filming of themselves, of me giving them a task to do that they then submit, and people that are willing to come and join me on a live stream and do a live task, which might just be, I'd give you an advance of, give you time to think about it and make sure you're happy with it and all that kind of stuff. But it might be like the prize task, as I say, where I tell you, bring the most hilarious fishy item, And then you've got a few days to figure out what you're going to bring, and then you come and do it. We'll think about these things. And also, we'll do some polls on the games, because I did enjoy tonight's game, but obviously having everybody go out in question 2 is less enjoyable for everyone else. So we'll have a think about that as well. But for now, sounds like utter chaos. I do like a bit of chaos, though. No, we're not playing strip poker. My wife is very clear I must keep all my clothes on at all times when I'm live streaming on YouTube. But for now, I'm going to wish you all a fantastic weekend. I will probably be releasing a video tomorrow, maybe Sunday, and then I'm going to have a few days away, so please don't come and rob me. And we'll see you same time next week. Bye.